Mike, a bit more of a welcome sight this month now with 5 home games just in March alone. Obviously, after all the travelling and the miles you've been putting in on the road. So, I mean, from your point of view, and I suppose the rest of the boys as well, I imagine it's good to not be looking at all the overnight stays and the long Saturday trips now.
Yeah, it's always nice to play at home. We've covered a lot of miles. Boys have done unbelievably well, and now we've got a stint at home, and we're looking forward to it, starting with a really difficult game tomorrow.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously the boys have been in good form away from home, so I suppose now how important is it to keep that going and back things up here at home as well on the back of that?
It's massive, yeah. Of course, we want to keep building. The performances have been very good, and I think the lads have know what the levels we have to get to tomorrow. Chesterfield, for me, one of the best teams we've played in the league. Obviously, they're on a bad run at the minute, but we've watched the footage back, and it doesn't reflect in the performances. So we know how tough it's going to be, but ultimately we're on our home turf, and we've got to focus on ourselves and make sure we put a performance that we're proud of.
Yeah, and you mentioned obviously tomorrow kicking things off, Chesterfield, like you say, a tough one. Obviously not many tougher in the league really in the grand scheme of things, recent form aside, but in terms of how things are looking internally, squad wise, and sort of availability, how are the boys faring at the minute?
Yeah, we still got a handful of long-term absentees. I think Kev is going to be out for a bit of a time, reflecting on the scan. It's a difficult one for us. It's been frustrating, but in terms of fitness for everyone else is happy and healthy, and we've got a good squad to go into tomorrow.
Yeah, and a bit of movement squad-wise. Obviously, recently Harrison Clark going out on loan to Mask, played for them on Tuesday night as well. So, I mean, what was the process in getting him out there and hopefully getting a bit of regular game time, I suppose, for him?
Yeah, it's beneficial for his pathway. He's come in, we can see what he's about already. He's got unbelievable attitude, very athletic, and he's here to learn and develop, and he's just got to get as many minutes as he can under his belt. Obviously, he's done well and he's come on for us, and he needs more of that, and that's purely for his development and his pathway, because he's someone with huge potential, and we've got to make sure we maximise that.
And movement on the incomings side as well, with Ed Francis coming in on loan from Notts County. He's someone who's played against you in both games already this season, scored in one of them as well. So, I mean, what is it about him that is going to add to the squad and made you just want to bring him in?
Well, his background, what you've just touched on there, really speaks for itself. He knows the league. We know the type of player he is, and he'll come in and he'll fit in perfectly here. We like to play football, but also with that winning attitude. He wasn't getting the minutes at Notts, and he's just desperate to play. Young, honest, hard-working, with a lot of ability. So it's a really good addition for us, and look forward to seeing him help with the fight.